Bedford FC was a normal, non-league football club. They played in the 10th tier of English football and attracted crowds of under 100 people. But in 2022, everything changed. The club was taken over by Peter McCormack, who runs the popular Bitcoin podcast, What Bitcoin Did. Ahead of the 22-23 season, Peter changed the name of the club to Real Bedford FC, similar to that of Real Madrid FC, and set out his main goal, to take Real Bedford to the Premier League.
Look, Bedford's a big town. It's never had a team in the Football League. I always wish we had.
Yeah.
I feel like we deserve it, and I think it'd be nice to have bigger clubs coming here, FA Cup runs, all those things that come with being a team in the Football League. So, yeah, it's something I researched, and I had a look at why it hadn't happened. I had a look at the model, and I thought, do you know what, I think I can do this. I'll have a go at it.
The club have gone on to make several changes to adapt to Bitcoin, becoming the cryptocurrency club, like how, for example, Forest Green Rovers are the vegan club. Bitcoin is accepted for tickets, drinks and merchandise, as well as cash. Obviously you got your podcast, What Bitcoin Did.
Yep.
But why did you think that these two things should come together, Bitcoin and football? They're very different.
Well, you say that, but the thing about Bitcoin, firstly, it's an underdog story.
Right.
It's a grassroots movement of people who are fed up of government economic policy that is leading to their currency being debased away. They're fed up of the wealth cap. I think a lot of people are just fed up of government. So Bitcoin is the antidote to that. But also, look, football has a lot of financial problems. A lot of clubs operate with very strange or bad financial practices. We're a club where the basis of what we do is anarchism and sound money.
Yeah.
And so building a football club on the basis of sound money and strong economic policy actually is something interesting to show people.
What's the reception been like to this so far in terms of, have you seen many people paying with it at the gate or for drinks? And also, what's the reception been like online and around the world?
Mixed, mainly good, but the negative stuff always stands out. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you get people who say horrible things on your YouTube. I mean, and you'd see all these nice things, but you're drawn to the horrible ones, right? But no, it's mainly good. I mean, locally, everyone thinks it's great. We're investing in women's football and youth football. We're bringing people to the town. So mainly good. We've got a rival team next door. They don't like it so much, mate. And then online, as well. I mean, look, what's the dislike? We are building a football club that invests in football locally, invests in girls' football, invests in women's football, has a hardship fund for people who can't afford to play football. We're growing crowds. We've got people around the world who now have a team to follow if they're Bitcoiners. We're trying to tell a story of a sound money, a separation of money estate. Yeah, it's mainly good. Just with anything, there's always a little bit of negativity. And you know what? We do have people coming in paying in Bitcoin, and it's not all the time, but sometimes, like on the weekend we had a lot of people here, came to my conference in town, and most of those were paying in Bitcoin.
On the pitch under Peter McCormack, the club have done very well. Last season, Real Bedford won the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1, achieving promotion. This season, in their new league, now step 9 of English football, they currently sit top of the table, and a win tonight will mean that they are confirmed as champions again and will see another promotion, this time to step 8. Tonight, if results go your way, you can go up for the second time in 2 seasons. Would you say that Bitcoin has been the main reason for the success on the pitch?
No, the main reason for the success on the pitch is the hard work of the manager and the players.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rob is an absolute professional. He demands professionalism from his players. They train hard twice a week and they are focused. That is the reason we got. Plenty of teams have had money behind them before and failed. I mean, just look at Chelsea this season.
Yeah.
So money does not give you success. It starts with the manager and a team he builds and what happens. Does it help? Sure, it certainly helps. But that's the only reason we win games is players go on that pitch and they put balls in the one net and they stop them going in the other one.
Just last week though, the club announced that they had received another investment. This one though wasn't any ordinary investment. It was one from 2 brothers, the Winklevoss twins. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are American Bitcoin billionaires. They both went to school at Harvard University and in 2004 sued Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, claiming that he stole their idea for the social media platform. They also both competed in the 2008 Summer Olympics in rowing, so these 2 guys are pretty big deals. They knew Peter through the Bitcoin side of things and decided that because they loved the story of Real Bedford so much, they wanted to get involved. And last week it was announced that they had invested in the club. But it wasn't a small amount, it was an absolutely unbelievable sum of $4.5 million or £3.6 million worth of Bitcoin. Of course, to two billionaires, this might not be that much, but to a club the size of Real Bedford FC, this is a life-changing amount for the team. Now, it's actually the most amount of money invested into a football club outside of England's top 5 leagues, just proving how big of an investment this is.
Good question. So I've known Cameron and Tyler for a few years, and we were all three of us were in Texas a couple of years ago for a conference.
Right.
So we met up, had a drink, had a beer, and I was talking to them about a few things, but I did bring up this idea. I said, look, I'm thinking of buying my local football team. I want to get them in the Football League. Can you get involved? Do you want to get involved? And they were both interested. Tyler asked me to explain the Football League, the hierarchy, and his first question back was like, how do you get them in the Premier League? And I was like, laughed and said, and he was deadly serious. He said, no, what do you need? So I was like, okay, well, a lot. It's an expensive thing, but let me go away, let me figure this out, and I'll come back to you. So for the last 2 years, I've been running the club, figuring out how to build a sustainable business and how to win trophies. We've been pretty good at that. And then recently I said, look, we're going to have some growing demands. If we want to fulfill this dream, we need investment. And I said, we can't go small. We've got to go big, and we need it in Bitcoin. The world is currently repricing in Bitcoin, and we want to hold a Bitcoin treasury for as long as we can to give us the best capital position in the future.
It's been said that this money will be used to establish a Bitcoin treasury for the club, fund academy football for boys and girls, ensure that no child in Bedford will go without playing football in their life, and to also fund a new training centre.
So one thing it's not going to be used for is wages. I've been
Right.
very, very clear on that. If we get any mercenaries get in touch and want to come play for us and think we're going to pay a lot of money, it's not going to happen. It's not to be used for wages. It is purely to build a solid foundation for the club and investing in infrastructure in the future. Right now, we won't be spending any over the next year, because the next year we're already sustainable. But we certainly will be starting planning work on our training facility that we want to build.
Okay.
But we won't be selling the Bitcoin to do that. We will leverage it. You never sell your Bitcoin.
The Winklevoss brothers also have a crypto exchanging platform called Gemini, which is Real Bedford's front of shirt sponsor and has been since 2022. They've also got other advertising boards around the stadium promoting crypto and Bitcoin businesses. There's been talks of Real Bedford moving ground. I know they've had problems with the council of actually owning this one fully. However, something funny about this stadium, about McMullen Park, is the proximity of it to another stadium. Now you can see Real Bedford's home ground behind me, but I take literally 3 or 4 steps up this little mount and you've got another stadium behind me, this one, the home to Bedford Town Football Club. Now, you know, I heard Peter speaking on a podcast earlier and he said there's been some real hostilities between these two teams now, and it's so funny. I know I probably in my life have never seen two stadiums so close to each other before. I then bumped into a journalist from the Norwegian broadcaster NRK who was at Real Bedford FC tonight for the story.
So I'm Gry Almas and I'm from Norwegian Broadcasting.
Why were you attracted to this story? Of course, you know, it's made headlines recently, but why did you decide to travel here today?
I just think it's such a wonderful story. The wish to get a team which is so far down the league, to get it up and maybe get to Premier League. It's allowing yourself to have dreams, and it's using the resources that you have, that you get to for different reasons. This example is Bitcoin.
Right.
Using that for something which maybe gives people of the town of Bedford more hope, something to look forward to, some pleasures, and it's just a wonderful story, isn't it?
Back in Norway, do you see much to do with Bitcoin? Is it a real global thing, or is it just in these sort of countries, you know, America, England, or is it across Norway as well?
Well, yeah, it is in Norway as well. I myself am not an expert on Bitcoin at all. That's not my my line of work, but it's there, and it's a lot of interest for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's everywhere. I know that Norwegian people have come here because of Bitcoin and get to know this team as well.
Well, by this point it was time to kick off the penultimate game of the season, Real Bedford FC against London Lions, and there was the chance of Real Bedford winning the league tonight, but the results had to go their way. MK Irish, who are in second place, have to drop points at Cock Fosters, so we'll be keeping an eye on that game too. Now this game started off fairly evenly with several chances like this free kick which was eventually cleared by the Lions, and we thought just for fun we'd have a look at Bedford Town, who are playing on the same evening. And look, as you can see on screen, it's true, you can watch two games at once, and I still can't get my head over how close these two teams are. Here's a chance for the London Lions, this one from a corner, fell to their player who took a strike on the edge of the 18-yard box but straight into the keeper's hands. All of a sudden it got really dark and rainy, and you can see there was lots of slipping and sliding on the pitch, but luckily by this point it was 0-0 at half time and 0-0 in the other game too.
Okay, well that's half time here at McMullen Park, 0-0. It's been an energetic and exciting game so far. Of course there hasn't been any goals yet, but I'd say it's been fairly evenly matched. Both teams have had their chances where they could have gone 1-0 up. I know that Real Bedford had a few good free kicks as well, but unfortunately no goals yet, still 0-0. And in the other game that everyone here is keeping an eye on tonight, MK Irish against Cock Fosters, because we need MK Irish to drop points in order for Real Bedford to win the league tonight. That is still 0-0 too. So both games going okay so far, but we need Cock Fosters to go 1-0 up, and we need Real Bedford to go 1-0 up as well. It's raining heavily, so we found a dry spot here under the gantry on the other side of the ground, and yeah, ready for the second half.
And the second half had started, this one even better than the first, right from the first minute, with loads of challenges and counter-attacks going in there, including this one from Real Bedford. Now their right winger was absolutely destroying the London Lions left back. Here's an example of it. Goes straight past him, puts the ball into the box, but unfortunately this one is cleared away. However, the right winger could still make the run this time. Again, put into the box, it falls to Ben Stevens, and on the 54th minute he puts Real Bedford 1-0 up, with it still 0-0 in the other game.
Right, we're about 60 minutes in, this 1-0 to Real Bedford, a really nice finish there. London Lions on the attack now, they got themselves a corner, but in the other game it's still 0-0, and this title push is on. See what happens here. Corner cleared, and that's why they're top of the league.
Now this chance is one that should have ended up in the back of the net. Another cross by the right winger into the box. The shot comes off of the goalkeeper, and somehow the ball is wide of the post and not in the back of the net. But the nightmares won't be long lived, because literally moments later, this almost rugby tackle by one of the London Lions defenders sees Real Bedford get a penalty and a chance to make it 2-0. And yes, it was taken in the 65th minute by Luke Knight to put Real Bedford in pole position to win the league, and it was still 0-0 at this point in the other game too. And you can see here how much it means to the Real Bedford team and their coaches and manager. Now another attack for Real Bedford, this one a lovely turn, the goalkeeper almost spilling the ball into his own net, but luckily he managed to keep it out, otherwise he may have been dropped for the next game. And that was full time, 2-0 to Real Bedford.
Real Bedford have done everything they can, full time 2-0. We just got to have a look at the Cock Fosters MK Irish score and see what that's going on there. Well, it's still saying 0-0 on there, and there's a flare being set off over there in the main stand.
But a few Twitter refreshes later, and it was confirmed 0-0 in the other game, Real Bedford winning the league.
Full time at Cock Fosters, and it's 0-0. Fireworks going off here at McMullen Park. And although I haven't seen the score, it seems these people have back-to-back promotions for Real Bedford. And this too is one of success, inspiration, uniqueness. And you really can't fault Peter and all the hard work he's put in for this to happen. Flares, fireworks, fantastic. Well, an evening of fireworks, flares, celebrations. Bedford, Real Bedford, are promoted once again. It's back-to-back league championships, celebrations on the pitch now, and I must say, hats off to Peter McCormack. He's done an incredible job here at the stadium, and you can see what it means to those fans, those players. Back-to-back promotions, now to step 8 of English football, and Peter and his team have done a fantastic job. Thank you so much to him and everyone else here for welcoming me. I've had a great time. Congratulations once again, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go and join the celebrations.